Would you rather have a robot that can walk or a robot that can actually do the work? Well, it sounds kind of obvious, but that's actually a question that the robotics industry is currently facing. Over the past few years, we've seen so many amazing robots that can walk, run, or do amazing demos. But the next challenge is even harder. Can they actually be useful in the real world? Recently, there have been two major events in Beijing, WRC, World Robot Conference, and WHRG, World Humanoid Robot Games. One of the biggest changes seems to be that the industry is moving from making something that look impressive to making things that people would actually use. The first thing I noticed was that robots are now being evaluated differently. A few years ago, if a robot can walk properly or naturally, that was already a huge achievement. Now people start to ask, can the robots work in a factory, like assembling parts? Can it do things accurately and reliably? Does it have dexterous hands that can do really complex stuff? These things are becoming more important. And in the Beijing robot games, you started to see more tasks like screwing components, opening bottles, or using dexterous hands to pick up really small objects. I think that shows that the industry is focusing less on impressive demos and more on real life capabilities. The second thing I find interesting is the role of data. When we think about AI training, we used to think, well, the more the data, the better. But when it comes to robotics, it's kind of different. Essentially, robots need to learn from the physical world. To start with, there isn't as much data to learn from. And the quality of data also matters. Like robots need to learn things, including how much force should I use, what if things go wrong, and how should I recover from a mistake. It's kind of complicated. That's why China is investing money in robotic infrastructure like training centers. There, they create a full cycle. They collect data, process it, train models, and then test robots, and then deploy them in real life scenarios. So data will continue to be important. What's more important is that you have an infrastructure that can continue to create data and improve its quality. The third thing I've been thinking about is that robotics will probably be an ecosystem game. This happens in so many industries. Morgan Stanley said that the AI competition between US and China is probably going to be about the ecosystems. I don't think robotics will be any different. You need AI models, you need hardware, supply chain, and real world applications. I think both the US and China have their advantages. So at the end of the day, it's really about who can translate their advantages into products that can compete globally. When I look at the events in Beijing recently, I'm already imagining a life where robots are helping us with different things everywhere. I think the competition will probably be fierce both in China and globally. But personally, I'm very excited about this industry, and I do hope that we'll enjoy the benefits that robots will bring to our lives.